Hey y'all, welcome to another episode of Steve's Garage Tips. Today we're doing a dashboard on a 2017 Porsche 911 Turbo. I'll give you a look, see what we're dealing with here. Let's get started. Alright, first things first, we want to take this steering wheel out of here. To get it completely out of my way so I can work more freely back here, up there, down here, and such. To do that, we got to take this airbag out first. The airbag, to take it out, you have these tiny little holes right, hold on, right there, you see them? So there's one on each side. When we put our tool, get a little tool, I'm using a chisel, a thin chisel, straight. You can push it in there till you feel a spring. You'll feel a spring in there and you're going to push against the spring. When you do that, and come around here and it breaks loose. You'll do the same thing on the other side. There's another hole right there till you feel the spring and it pops loose, and then this can pull right out. And of course you gotta disconnect these connectors here. You pop those little orange tabs, pull them up, and then you can wiggle it off, or you can take it off right there, which is what I'm going to do. Same thing with the orange tabs, pull back and then release. Alright, once you get the airbag off, by the way, you have to disconnect here. This has to be disconnected, but it doesn't come with the airbag. It stays with the steering wheel. Alright, so then you've got to take the steering wheel out. You've got this bolt down here, and that requires a triple square M12. This little sucker right here, and we'll take that loose. Imperative that you make sure to remember with the steering wheel, it has little marks. You want to make sure that when you put it back on later that you line those marks up. Otherwise your steering wheel will be off center and you're going to shoot yourself in the foot over that, because then you're doing alignment and then everything's out. Just put it back exactly the way you took it off. In this case, I made sure the steering wheel was straight, which it is. I can see with the dot here is pointing straight up, and so when I put it back on, it'll be pretty simple. I'll know it'll be straight. Alright, now we got the steering wheel out of the way. What we want to do next is take off the trim on the column. So underneath we have two holes, there and there, here and here, and inside those you got a T20 Torx screw. You just gotta feel in there to find it, but it's in there. Oh, no, not there. There we go. And there we go. Do that on both sides. I already took that one out. And then up here we have these little windows right here, which have, you just stick a little screwdriver in there, push in on the tab, pull up, do the same over here, and pull up, and this should pop right off. There we go. And this should do the same. Oh no, because you've got two more here. So take these out, there and there, and then this piece will pop down. Now that that's down, got one wire here, disconnect, and that drops out. Let's try to do that without breaking anything. This piece is going to come out with the with this piece up here on the cluster. So we're gonna ultimately disconnect those connectors, and then one of the next steps we'll show you how to take that whole thing out. Alright, next step, we're taking the lower panel off here. It goes all the way around over here. We need to take this trim off here first. Get your little plastic tool, anything like this. Get in here and pop this loose like that so you don't damage the leather, and it should come right out just like that. Also, make sure you take this piece out under here, and ultimately it's got to come out anyway. It's basically just pop it out. Remove this, make sure this comes off first because it's attached underneath here, and it's possible to break that, so be very careful here. Pop this off first, then pop this out and get it out of your way. And you can remove this so that this piece comes out too. Next, you've got a screw that comes in this way, right there. It's a T20. Get you a tool in there, pop that loose, and you can get the rest of it by hand. Alright, and next we have, underneath the panel, we have two, let's show you. There's a hole. Hold on, where's it at? Okay, so where my finger is, right in there, there is two inverted Torx bolt in there, and you go over to the other side, there's another one there as well, going up into an inverted Torx. Just like this. It is an E8 size. Take those out. Those are attached to the lower airbag that's a part of this for your knees. So we want to remove that with that lower panel. Alright, I probably jumped a step here because this piece actually has to come out first before this, but these pieces of trim have to come out in order to do that. I thought this was all one piece. It's not. So get your plastic tool, pop this off right here, and it exposes it here so that this can be pulled off. Same thing on this side. Take this piece off with a plastic tool. I've already got it loose just to show you, but do like that, and it exposes the rest of this so that this can be pulled out of the way. And then we can remove the lower panel. Okay, now you can take the trim out that goes around the cluster, instrument cluster. This trim has 4 clips. One is behind here, one is behind here, one is down here, and one is down here behind. Use your plastic tools and be extremely careful here. You have to kind of work it around to get these clips up top, but then it'll pop right out, and you can remove those 2 connectors and this will pull right out. Next, you've got 4 screws that are holding the instrument cluster in place. Here, 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 and here. That is a T25 Torx screw. And when you remove that, then disconnect it from behind and you can pull the instrument cluster out of the way. Okay, now that we've got the cluster out of the way, we're going to go back to the bottom panel. So before we remove that, we really need to take this trim out on the center console. This is pretty simple. You pull towards you from up top, just grab a hold and pull, and then pull to the back of the car, and that's that. So we need to take this T25 screw out right here, and we should be able to pull this small panel out here, which will relieve what we need to do in order to take the lower panel out. And that's what it looks like when you take it out. Remember, after you take the screw out, take that piece of trim and push it towards the front of the car, and then it releases. And now the lower panel here is loose and pops right out just like that. Maybe be a little bit more careful than I was just then. All right, now that we've got all that taken care of down here and up there, we're going to come over here to this side. We're going to take this trim panel off as well. Pop loose, pull out. Simple as that. And the next thing we're going to do is remove this from, because this is going to be on my way in order to get the dash out. T25 screws there, and there. Take those out, and this should pop right out. It actually does. I'm just one-handed here. Hold on. There we go. And of course you get behind it, take your connectors loose and pull this thing out. And remember when you're doing this, to keep track of your connectors and where they're going, like this, you want to make sure it comes right back through that hole. So you got to remember all these things as you're taking it out. Maybe you have to take pictures in order to remember exactly where all the connectors go. Because it can suck if you put this thing back together and then you forgot to put one through a hole or through an area and you can't get to it without taking the whole dash out. That would suck really bad. Ask me how I know this, because I've done it. And this is what it looks like when you've disconnected everything. Nice jumbled mess of connectors. And this is why I tell you, know where everything goes. Next step, we are going to probably have to come over here to the glove box. Alright, over here, same thing as the other side. You got a trim piece here, you got to pop off. Little plastic tool, pop off, comes out. Of course, you got this little trim piece, you got to pop this off as well. Throw that to the side, take this off like we did on the other side as well. Just pops out in that way. Alright, we opened up the glove box. But to take this out, we have to take this cup holder out first. Alright, the way to do that, this is a little trick here. First, take this off. Alright, and I've already got it loose, but I want to show you how I got it loose. Hang on a minute. So, you need to open these up fully. Okay, and then there's two holes. Let's see if I can show you. Underneath, you're going to see a hole here. Let's see if I can get a better view for you. There's a hole here, and you go all the way up to the top. And there's a clip up there. You can see where my chisel's going through. And there's a clip up there, and you push up and pull on this cup holder at the same time, and it will release the clip. You do the same thing on the other side. Same hole in there. See how it's going through. Push the clip up, and it comes right out. Bada bing. To give you a view of the clip with the cup holder removed, you can see it right there. Let's get closer to it so you can see how you push up on it, it will release the cup holder. Okay. All right. So next step, we can take the the glove box out. So we got a bolt here. That's a T25. We got one here, 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 and pretty sure we got some underneath. We'll get to that here in just a second. We're going to take these off first. Alright, now that I got all those out, we got another one here, same as the other side of the car. T25 going straight in from this direction. So you got a little tool back there. And then you've got the E8s underneath. Right there where my finger is, there's one of them, and the other one is right there. Get those two out, and we should be able to pull the glove box out. All right, and I want to make sure you guys don't forget, this piece has got to come out because this is hanging over it on the glove box. So this has got to be removed in order to pull the glove box out. So of course you take this T25 out right here, and then take this trim piece and push it to the front of the vehicle and pull it out. Okay, and that's what happens when you get the glove box loose. Just drop it. You're better off leaving it right there because we're just taking the dashboard out. So we'll go from there. But now we're just going to get some of the mounting bolts around the dashboard. We're going to start over here, taking these off. Getting your clock out, that's just kind of important. It's just clipped in, but pretty heavy prying to pop these clips loose, front and back. But ultimately it's just clips holding this in. Pop it around the corners, be careful, and it'll come right out. And then you disconnect two connectors, one for the clock, one for the sun load sensor in the front there, and that's that. All right, and after you do that, you're gonna take these out. Same thing, pry them up. Your little vent, defrost vents, plastic trim, just pop up all the way across, and you can get these out. This one I've already gotten loose, so I can get that one out now. Oh, and like a little seal on the back end. That's how you do that. Get those out of the way. All right, next let's take these two out. Two T25s. All right, next up, we took these 3 bolts out here. There, and there. T25s again. I also took these loose right there that's attached to the airbag. We now need to take these out up here that hold the airbag up. Right there, right there, and right there, and on this side too, here and back there. Next, let's take these out. 1, 2. All right, after you do that, ultimately we got to take these A-pillars loose and out on both sides. To do that, you're gonna have to, well, I'm in a cabriolet, so in this one I have to take the sun visor out, which is held on by 2 T30s, and then this just pops off, and then this should pop right off and I can pull it out. You've taken both A-pillars off. That clears the way for the dash to be removed. There is another bolt. You can see it right there, right in the middle of the screen. That is an E8 as well. Remove that. That will hinder you from pulling out the, see it way back there? From pulling out the dashboard. Take this vent out first. You can see it better. All right, we're also going to take this bracket out the way for the airbag. It keeps us from pulling the airbag out. This bracket is held in by 2 E8s there and there. And I believe that's it, yeah. Just the bracket comes out. Next, let's get on the other side of the dash. We haven't taken these out yet, so we're going to take those out. All right, next go back to where the radio was, and you've got hidden screws. One right up there. I just took it out, but it goes right in there, pointing up on the left. I'm pretty sure there's one behind this unit, so take these out and get to the other screw that's right there. I believe that's all that holds us in. All right, yeah, that was it. That was all that was holding it. So now you just break her loose and make sure you disconnect that connector for that speaker as you're pulling it out. Second thought, pull the speaker out, then disconnect it. Then as you're pulling it out, you have a couple connectors underneath here and here. Pretty sure it's the same on the other side as well. Disconnect those and this thing should pop right out. Okay, I take that back. There was one connector in here. It's clipped up here. So you gotta unclip it here and drag it out there. And then there's also one more here. And I think I can get that one off somewhere along the line. Anyway, this wire right here underneath. Yep. And there's the finished product. So I got it out. And again, like you've seen in some of my previous videos, we're doing some repair to some leather. Looks like somebody's already tried to repair this once. So we're going to do it again. Hope you enjoyed. Like, share, comment, and we'll see you next time.